Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you 5 Pandas tricks that is going to take you and your Pandas game to a whole new level. Before I get to it, if you want to follow this tutorial with me, I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video to this Python script. So you just go and do it, you download it, and then you're able to follow me in this very quick tutorial. Let me start by getting here the Pandas and NumPy libraries. And then let's start with trick number 1, the query method. So Pandas now has this way that we can have this SQL-like way of writing. And for instance, let's have a look here. We have our sales data frame, and we now have this view recommended plots, but let's imagine I want to go here and I want to see, hey, let me check for the sales where the revenue is above 500. Now, if I don't use the query methods, I check the columns in which the rows are above 500. It's quite the logic there, but we have this way where we go to our sales data frame and we do dot query, and we just include revenue here, revenue, and then above 500. And this is it, right? So it's more like this mathematical / English way of writing. And it makes it very, very easy because now we're literally subsetting through this method. So this is trick number 1, the query. I really like it. Now let's go to trick number 2, time series analysis with Pandas resampling. So if I go here to my traffic data frame, and it's currently on a daily level, right? So I have visits per day. And imagine that you're like, hey, let me get it per month. Let's aggregate on a monthly level. It's also really, really easy. The way that we do it is that we do resample here, and then we specify, for instance, month. You could also put it like week or year, but for now, let me do month. And then you specify the KPI because maybe you want a median, maybe you want a sum, or in this case, maybe we just want the average. And this is it. Now we have the average visits per month. Then we can move on to trick number 3, which is dealing with categorical data with Pandas. So let's have a look. We have this opinions data frame where they are positive, negative, or neutral. And the way that we can do it is, so first we start by changing the opinions column into a categorical type, category type. So this works. We come here and we go to our opinions data frame. We specify that it is the opinions variable, opinions, and then we go ahead and we just transform it. So opinions, df, and then we go to the opinions name, and then we just do as type, and here you specify category. Now this is going to make our lives much, much easier. Why? Let's say that we go to our opinions data frame, and then to the column. And what we can do is that we do dot category dot codes. And this way, what we're doing is that we have the variables there, but we are encoding them. So this 0, 1, or 2. And if we were to have more classes or more labels, we would have more and more codes. From a modeling perspective, this makes our lives so much easier. Now let's move on to trick number 4, multi-dimensional data analysis in Pandas. Let's have a look. So this is our data frame with year and quarter. And one thing that you can do is that you can create multi-index. And this creates this pivot table like feeling to your analysis. And it's super easy because you just do set index. And then you specify which one you want first. Let's say we want year because we have year and quarter. You do year and then quarter. And then you do in place equals to true so that you make the transformation upon the data frame. And here we have it. Okay, let me print out the outcome. And here we go, right? So we have 2020. Q1 and Q2, and this gives a much nicer feeling to it, right? It's much easier to visualize what is happening. So this was it. Now, last but not least, trick number 5, optimizing memory. I'll be honest, it's a bit geeky, and it makes a lot of sense when you're dealing with large amounts of data that may take quite a bit of time. But for you that you may not be handling loads of data, you don't care so much, but there is a difference, and I'm going to show you the difference. Let's say that we have here this data with the name, age, and income, and this is our data frame, right? So before we optimize, if we have a look at the memory usage, we have 437 bytes. Now let's say that we optimize for the memory. Let me go and do it. Optimizing for memory. Now this is something that kind of needs to make sense, right? You cannot really optimize and then you just lose information. So optimize for memory. So for instance, if I go and I have a look at my age here, now age is an integer, and therefore we don't really need 64 bytes. So we can just go ahead and transform it. So data frame age, and then you transform so as type, and you do int with 8 bytes. And you do the same for the other one, which is income here. Instead of, and let me have a look, so income, so this is 1, instead of being integer with 64 bytes, we can just do data frame income and do as type. Now income can actually have quite a bit of numbers, so instead of with 8, you do with 32. Here we go. Let me do shift enter, and then now let's do this post optimization. So post optimization, and let me just change this and let me do control enter. Now we have 393. So we go from 437 to 393. That's 10% less. Now this is bytes, but if you think that you could have, I don't know, 40 gigabytes or 40 terabytes, decreasing by 10% with just this, tiny change, it's quite a big deal. It's a lot of money that in the end you may save. So this is it for these 5 tricks to take your Pandas level to a whole new game. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.